friends, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title, this video is part 2 of the curl damage video, and this is the question and answers portion. And I posted this picture on my Instagram and I asked everyone to leave their questions below. So I'm going to go through and answer as many questions as I can. So the first question is it possible for heat damage to ever really revert back to its natural pattern? Or do you have to let it grow out and cut it, etc.? Now, I would say it really depends on how bad it is, because I've seen both scenarios happen and I've experienced this happening as well. If it is severely damaged, and you'll know because you'll find like after maybe like a month, it's still not really getting that curl coming back. It's more like a wave or very limp. If it's like a month and it's not really changing, I would say it's a good chance that it's not going to revert back and you're going to have to let it grow out or just trim it off. The next question is, have I found any home hair dyes that are curl friendly? She says, I love to color my hair often, but I'm afraid it's doing some damage to my curls, mainly at the roots. Now, in my experience, I've used many many box dyes. Typically, if you're staying on the darker side, so browns, brown shades, stuff like, what other shades are darker? Black. It tends to keep your hair a lot healthier than if you're using something with bleach. Naturally, that's how it kind of works. But I would say that anything that is ammonia free, in my experience, is a lot less damaging on the curls. And I think it's Garnier that has like ammonia free. A few brands have ammonia free. I used to be a big fan of Feria by L'Oreal in the past. It gives you the most vibrant, beautiful shades, but the damage over time on curls, it's just, you can just tell by the smell. When you have that really strong box dye smell versus one that is ammonia free, you can just tell the difference. And you can really see the difference with your hair. Your hair is going to look bomb at first with the Feria because it gives you the dimensions and the colors. But over time, you can really tell that it is quite harsh on your curls, in my experience. So I have a question about how important spraying water is on your hair when it's damaged. Is that something you do daily? That's a really great question. I think that water is very important for our hair, and not just externally, but drinking water as well is definitely gonna promote healthier hair as well, and a healthier scalp. But in terms of wetting my hair, honestly, I probably wet my hair daily, but not even intentionally. Mainly because of style purposes, I kind of have to wet it at some point. So my hair probably gets the moisture from water on daily, and it's not like I really made it a plan. It's just something I do naturally, but in all honesty, I do think it's important, and I think our hair does need it, curly hair especially. So yeah, the more water the better, in my opinion. So what do I sleep with? I wear my hair in a satin bonnet, or sometimes I get a little lazy, but I always sleep on a satin pillowcase for my hair if I'm not covering it completely. I have naturally curly hair, but sometimes curl the top pieces to get another day's wear out of it before I wash it. Is that terrible and leading to damaged hair? Honestly, try not to do that. I would really say try not to do that, because the heat is not really good for your hair. And if you do need to refresh, in my opinion, I would say just get a spray bottle, spray those pieces, do kind of like the finger curl, scrunch, and let it dry. So you can just kind of touch up the front area, or you can even put in like a flexi rod curlers just in the front area if you want to avoid having to wash your hair as often, but you want the front to still look good. But another tip I would say is I tend to put heavier products just at the front that will hold more, because my hair will not hold curls very long. So when I sleep with my hair in the pineapple. I always make sure that these curls just at the front tips, especially because they're blonde too and they can get a little bit drier, I like to go with products that are a little bit, I guess, heavier than my typical product and will hold. You can actually see it in my last video. I talk about it in my how to style fine curly hair video. So the next question is, please talk about growth. I'm so afraid of cutting the damage. Supplements, products, what worked for you? So for me, again, I'm not afraid of cutting. I'm one of those scissor happy people. I cut my own hair, so I'm not really afraid of cutting my hair. But if you are afraid of it, I would say when you are dealing with the damage, just try protective styling if you can't actually wear your hair in its natural state because the damage is bothering you. I would suggest doing either braids or twists, rocking twists out, so you can actually manipulate your hair texture to make it work for you. So either you're doing roller sets or braid outs, twist outs, stuff like that. I do believe that having a little trim does something for your hair, where it does encourage your hair to grow. I feel like, I don't know, when it's damaged, then the breakage comes and it kind of makes it, you know, a little bit see-through at the bottom at times, and it may not feel, you may not get that retention that you want growing your hair. So having a nice trim, even if it's a small trim, I do think that does wonders for your hair, and it encourages your hair to grow out healthy. And it's hard for me to tell you supplements and stuff because I really encourage trimming when it's damaged. But I mean, biotin for many people works really well for growing out hair. I know that there are some side effects, like some people get acne from it. I've tried biotin in the past, and I definitely think that it is something that you have to drink a lot of water with, otherwise you can break out. So someone was asking me about my haircut tutorials. How do I cut my hair in the back to get it even so that it can be flat iron too? Now, I'm a girl that has no desire to straighten my hair, so maybe that's partly why I'm so open to cutting my own hair. I typically use a mirror and look in the back, and I like to cut my hair in layers. So what I'll do is take it in sections. This is very hard to do right now, but I'll pretty much like go section by section, and I will do a bit of a trim. And because I'm going like this in sections, it ends up falling like stairs, so it is like a layered look at the back. So that's what works for me. I am not saying that this is gonna look fantastic when it's flat iron, because honestly I never flat iron my hair. I don't really care to straighten my hair. If I want to have straight hair, I'll just wear a wig, to be honest. So for me, I'm not as worried about being as precise for how it would look at when it's straight. So that's the advice I could give in terms of for someone else that's interested in cutting their own hair and struggles with the back and they do wear their hair straight. I would suggest probably having someone professional do it, because it is pretty hard to have it done by yourself at the back. And I have to say that I have friends that have gotten their hair done professionally, got the diva cut professionally, and they've straightened their hair and they have not liked how it looked straightened. So I think it's one of those things where if you're catering to like the diva cut and you want it to look really good curly, and you want like a certain shape curly, and you want it cut curly, then the odds are it might not look ideal when it's straight. So it really depends on what your preference is. If you're someone that likes to wear it curly and straight often, then you may not want to do the diva cut type of styling for when you get it cut, which is getting it cut when it's drying in its curly state. But that's just my humble opinion. I cut my hair 6 times within 4 months. The curls at the bottom are getting wavy to curly again, but the bangs are dry and straight. What curly hair products do you advise? Shampoo, deep conditioning, styling? How do I treat my heat damage and straight hair to get those natural curls again? So here's the thing. I am not 100% sure what your curl texture is. I did try to look at your page, but it's private. So I have a kind of hair texture that I have like straighter hair at the top of my head. Like if you look, I don't know how it looks right now when you see it, but I mean this is like second day or third day, second day hair. But anyways, so sometimes your hair can be a little bit confusing because everyone's hair texture tends to be different, and some people have looser curls at the top of their head and tighter curls at the bottom. Actually, a lot of people have this, or vice versa. It really just depends. But a lot of people tend to have looser on top and tighter curls at the bottom. And so even though you're cutting and the new growth is coming in, you might be comparing the top to the bottom and thinking that this part is not getting better. But it's possible that your the top of your hair is not as curly as the bottom naturally. I don't know if this is your case, but I just wanted to put that out there just in case. But one thing I would say is to keep on trimming the top part, and sometimes you may want to trim the top part more than the bottom, because if the bottom is already starting to curl, then maybe just focus on the top. I'm not sure if you actually are wearing bangs or if you're just talking about like layered pieces, but that I would just like keep focusing on trimming the top of it and do the whole scrunching method when you're styling. I filmed a video, it's on my channel right now, showing how I style my hair, because you'll see in the video I have to do a lot of like encouraging the curls to dry, curly, and spring up, because naturally my hair is quite loose in this area. I'm really sorry if I didn't get to your question. I'm just realizing that this video is going to be way too long if I get to all of them, but I would love to do this again. If you enjoy the question and answer sort of idea or concept, I don't usually do this on my channel, so let me know in the comments if you want to see this again, and I will do some more. I actually think it's a great idea. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that you want to see more like this, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.